All right. I'm working on that blade. It's quite a difficult blade to work because it's very tapered. It's integral, so it's quite thick here, and then even here it's about 5.5. Okay, and then it's going very thin, about maybe 1.5 millimeter. Okay, and I would like to make a grind on that blade, and I would like to make a sort of special grind. Hello, Majestic. That's your blade. I would like to make quite a special grind. Special grind meaning I would like to have something following the curve here, following the forged geometry here, and if I put an angle here and having my bevel upping right there, up there, if I keep this angle and grind, it will go very like that, and it will be very narrow here because it's taper, it's more thin, so the angle will go down and down and down, and here I will have a, even if the blade is thin, I will have a geometry which will be too thick for the blade to be really fully useful everywhere. Bom dia. So what I've started to do, and it's I mean it's close to be finished, is to work the different parts and make a nice even finish, but I need to change my angles through the length of the blades. So it means this angle is different from this one, is different from this one, is different from this one. And I think I would like to show you just a little bit, or I can work a little bit more the tip. So it's quite all right, but I would like to thin a bit the angle. And for that, I would like to push the shinogi up. And maybe some of you want to do that with their stones sometimes. So here is what I'm gonna show you a little bit. So yeah, the bevel is like that, and I would like to push a little bit up there. So to do that, to push the shinogi line, I think perpendicular would work the fastest. And actually, so I'm putting my my bevel on the stone, and I'm putting my finger up to the shinogi so I can push a little bit on it. You see, they are up there. And I think if you want to be the most effective, like really start and grind a lot of material at the beginning, long strokes won't grind as fast as short strokes. So always checking what you're doing. Not to overgrind. And I'm starting actually at the very end, about here, because I would like to make like the final point of the angle I want to reach. And when I will get the thickness, the filling I want, I will come back to the heel. I mean, I will go back this direction and grind everything to even out. But for now, I would like to grind here to get the final shape I want. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit up, and the difficulty is not to grind the kuroshi. Try to really draw a line, a precise line, and not overgrind. Okay. The question are, what gritstone is it, and do you forge your bevel or you forge no bevel? First question is, this is 200 grit, and this is simple Imanishi Bester 200. So it's very simple, but I quite like it. It's a little bit harder than Debalo. And the second question is about you forge no bevel. I am forging my blade, so the geometry is like from 6 to 1 millimeter here. Here it's about like 4 to 1 millimeter here. Here is about like 2.50 1 millimeter here, and this is 1.5 1 millimeter here. So it's forged globally, but I don't forge a wide bevel precisely. That is grind then. All right. And I can feel the kuroshi that I'm grinding. I can feel when I'm touching up there. And I'm starting to get what I want. A little bit more and I will be done. As you can see, it's very short strokes. Okay, so I think I got quite a thin angle now, and now if I'm working longitudinal, because I have worked only on that part, okay, as you can see, it's different color. Okay, I'm only worked about here. If I'm doing now longitudinal strokes, I will see that this is now low because I've grinded. So just let's see. Yeah, and what I can see now, I'm gonna show you. So I've done a short longitudinal. As you can see, it's now overground here because I have finished. So now I need to grind everything and a bit here too, and push the shinogi everywhere here, so I can reach that point, and even the bevel. All right. So I'm gonna work here. And the idea is really to get something clean along the shinogi line. Even if it's kuroshi, I'm working that part those days, like to get something more sharp on the shinogi. All right, and now I have grind. Oh, I have grind that part. Okay, you can see that. So I really pushed all the bevel up next to the tip, and because I pushed this angle, I have put an angle which is thinner, alright? And this is still very strong, so my angle need to do this. I don't know if you see what my hands do, but it's like that. Okay, it's flatter, stronger. So now I need to make that angle changes coming nicely. Those are complex geometry. Most of the blades you can see would be like almost one angle from here to here, and would be like flatter geometry. I like to work on those more complex one, and the bigger taper you have here will bring those complex geometry, because if you got a very thick blade here and very thin here, obviously you have to change your angles. You have to move your angles in through the length of the blade. All right, so now I'm gonna work a little bit longitudinal. Okay, and what I can see is that I will need to grind a little bit here so I can reach here. I'm gonna do that perpendicular because it's always the most effective way to grind. All right, I got something like that. I'm trying to find the angle, sorry. I'm trying to find where the light is not too hard for you. All right? And I'm starting back longitudinal. And actually, because the blade is very tapered and the geometry is changing a lot, I'm not doing like super lengthwise. Actually, I'm not doing completely parallel to the edge. I'm doing a little bit diagonal. Diagonal will follow your geometry a little bit more. It will help a little bit. Okay. And it looks better. I'm gonna work a little bit more. All right. Maybe a tad more here because I got some remaining perpendicular. But what I can show you now is that. So it's even in the way that the stone is touching the blade, but we can already see some inherent problem with the complex geometry, which are blending or the fact that angles are changing. So what you can see here, for example, this bright line, this is a change of angle. And this means there is an angle here, okay? And these bright lights make a differentiation from the angle here, and this is another one. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It means that your angles are changing, and because the stone is hard, you have to deal with subtle changes. All right. Okay, I got something I'm happy with, and I'm going to do the other side. So I don't know if you can notice that, but yeah, I have pushed a little bit this, maybe 1 millimeter, maybe 2. I think 1, maybe more 1 than 2. It was quite subtle, but I've pushed a little bit, and so my shinogi is a little bit more even. And that means too that even if it's very strong here and it's very strong, really. I mean, it's a very strong blade here. even if it's very strong here, I got a geometry that is thin out, and then I can have a very nimble thin tip to go inside other food. And once I will have get inside it, like for onions, like chick 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 chick, getting to slice it, to prepare the slicing, like to get into it, I can then use this heel to have strength and really cut fast and strongly. Okay, let's do the other side. So the other side is same appearance about, and I can see that my shinogi is following, but all those whitish spots, this is about more overgrind, so it's little defects on the grind, and I need to make it little bit more sharp, little bit more nice. And that's a good thing, because I want to push the shinogi up, to push that line between bevel and kurushi a little bit up. And for that I will erase those little defects on the grind. So let's start again, perpendicular. And I can really feel that I'm going up. But I just need to be careful not to overgrind. And I think short strokes really help. They are more effective and a little bit more precise. And pressure is high. So again, I'm pushing the line until I feel my geometry is good and thin enough. And when I got something nice here, I come back in that direction, grinding slowly to make it even. Because if I'm only touching here, it will be overgrind. Yes, exactly, Joachim. This is Imanishi 200 or 220. This one came from Whetstone.fi, very nice shop in Europe, and yeah, it's about maybe twice thicker, maybe when it's new, or maybe a little bit less than twice, and it's harder than Debado. It's a little bit slower, but because it's harder, you get more precise. So I generally use Debado, then I use this, then I would use a diamond plate, 400 to finish, to make it very sharp and nice. Well, the more I can do, actually, the doing my best. But those little tips are really easy for you to try for your knives. So yeah, short strokes in perpendicular to push the shinogi line. And you need to feel the shinogi. You need to feel that you're pushing the line. I don't know if you hear it. Okay, nice. I think it's better. I'm gonna grind. So I've grind here. I'm gonna grind a little bit here. Coarse stones are quite hard to find. For me, I have tried a lot before finding the one I really liked. I think there is, of course, preference, and I agree. But I would say with experience, you need about 2 coarse, at least 2 coarse, because actually the way if they behave differently, you can use them for different tasks. You would need a softish, very coarse one, and 180 Debado is like that. It's not too soft, and some of the stones are too soft. I quite like Debado because it's not super soft, but it's a soft stone compared to some others. And Debado is really grinding a lot. Those stones, like Imanishi 220, and I think I got Namikawa, which is like that. Can't remember, but I'm sure there is some other hard coarse stone, and those are really good to get a bit more precise, close to shinogi and everything. I feel for Debado you can really grind the idea of the bevel, but to be precise you need a harder stone. I can't get very precise, meaning getting a sharp shinogi with the Debado. Maybe it's possible using a lot of water, but I feel it's a little bit too soft for that. Okay, let's work a little bit longitudinal so I can check a bit for evenness. Okay, and it's not too bad, it's quite even. Should work. And even working longitudinal, I'm putting my fingers and I'm pushing a little bit up, close to shinogi, more than close to the edge, because I don't want, if I'm working toward the edge, I'm gonna put a more bigger angle, and if I'm pushing to the shinogi, I'm gonna put a smaller angle, and what I want is thinning. So thinning would push the shinogi, not the edge. You want to push the edge if you want to make more convex. Both way can be used. Okay, it looks like it's not bad at all. It's okay. And be careful, there is also some little trick I can give you. If you're coming from here, all right, from the middle of the blade, and you go to the tip, like that. Okay, because the blade is changing angles, you start from an angle which is thicker, and you finish to an angle which is thinner. So you tend not to grind too much the shinogi, you tend to grind more the edge, because you start with a strong angle, and even if you follow a little bit, you tend to grind the edge. I don't know if I am really understandable here, okay? And in contrary, if you start from the tip, okay, and you grind, you got a lower angle, okay, and then you grind and going to the heel, your angle here is thicker, and if you start with a thinner angle, then you will grind the shinogi. So at the beginning, when you start here and you go back to here, you're gonna grind the shinogi and the kuroshi, because you're not following the angles, the changes in the angles, and then you fuck the blade a bit. So just be careful. If you start from the tip like that, be careful to follow the angles and change the angles, not to grind the shinogi too much. Okay, I feel I got something alright. I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna go with the diamond plate, with a 400 watt diamond plate, to make it really clean and everything. So it's maybe not perfect, but as you can see, there is no more the white parts, so it's a little bit more sharp. And I've pushed here about 1 millimeter too. If you want to push more than 1 millimeter, you really need power. You need or you need to push on your stone very hard, so you can really grind a lot, and you have to make it step by step. Like first will be like just giving an idea of the bevel, like really grinding, not making too much mistakes, like over grinding everything. And in a second time, you will make it more precise with less pressure. Okay. So this is diamond plate from Practical Sharpening. If you hear me, some people are waiting for you. Well, Practical Sharpening is producing some diamond plate, but I don't know actually if he's answering message and everything. I don't know. So I got one, but I don't know if I will have two. And I'm using this, it's actually about the same as Imanishi. It's a little bit bigger. This one is from, it's a Geshin, it's a Japanese knife import stone, 200 grit, and I'm using it to flatten the diamond plate. And let's see how the bevel is clean or not. Because the diamond is far harder, so it will show any little thing that is not clean and perfectly even. whereas the 200 grit stone is not that hard, or there is mud coming in, and the mud will grind also, so it's hiding stuff. Diamond plate really help you to show where are the problems. And already I can see a little bit of problems coming in. Let me show you. It's alright, it's not huge problems, but it has to be worked out. So diamond, it's very bright. I'm trying to find my angle, sorry. Okay, so this is what diamond did, just this nice plain color here. And as you can see, close to Koroshi, this is overgrind, this is overgrind, this is overgrind, so it's not really touching. So I need to, again, push the shinogi up so I can have a clean, sharp shinogi. Okay. As I can see of the light, it's not completely done yet, but it's a little bit better. But we can see a little bit that it's not that precise. It needs to be more precise. So I'm gonna grind some more. The more it's precise, the more you will have a beautiful finish at the end. So it's worth it. And to be a little bit more precise about what I'm doing, so what I'm doing is like making a more precise, thinning the angle here toward the tip and making a more precise shape. And for that, actually, you need a flatter area, meaning I'm making convex blades, convex shaped bevel, and you can see that because this is the surface, and you can see here there is a small angle that will be blended to a convexity. But actually, when you're getting to that shinogi, you want flat, or you want almost flat. If you work for full convexity, it's possible, but far harder to keep it clean. Okay, looks good, looks good. It's very hard for me to show you exactly what it is. So as you can see, it's quite better. I'm gonna work longitudinal now. And this is giving a lot of information. I'm a little bit overgrind. It's very helpful to just do a little few strokes, and then you can see a little bit more, a little bit more your bevel. Sorry. So here, longitudinal strokes are touching quite well, and here, as you can see, not really. So this is overgrind and this is touching. So I mean, this is high spot, this is low spot. So I'm putting my finger on the high spot. The 400 grit, even if it's diamond, it's not working even like as the same fastness as this. This is really faster. So if you have too much to grind, you have to go back to the previous stone. Maybe I will. But if you get a very nice well shaped on the diamond 400, you're good to go for the final finish. I mean, you have to do the progression, but it means that you won't meet any weird thing on the road. Okay, I still got a little bit overgrown here, and actually it will be hard to reach it. Just let me show you. Okay, right here. This is overgrown, and if you want to reach that and really erase the last one of the scratches here, you need to push the bevel up everywhere. So it's yeah, some mistakes, you don't want to make them. At my level, of course, I'm waiting for the best results, but it's also balance. I mean, I'm trying to do as good as I can and learning more and more. And if there is a little bit of defects like that, of course, it's not wanted, but I need to deal with it. All right, so I got something nice, and sorry, I need to show you like that because light prefer to be sideways. Okay, and as you can see, there is lines. Really, you can see some of them. You see that? Okay. And those lines are the difference of angles changing. It will need some softish stone, thinner stone later to really work, even out those angles, making those lines a little bit less sharp. So at the end, the finish will be better. So going down, my fingers are down too. If not, I would grind the shinogi. Okay, I got something nice. And because of something, because of the way the light is on the blade, alright? Even if it's not like maybe 200% perfect, I will go to the next stones. It's good enough. I'm gonna work the other side too. And that will be all for today. Oops, sorry. The progression from that 400 diamond plate would be, for me, something about Naniwa Pro line would be Naniwa Pro 400, 600, 2K, and then Naniwa Super 3K, then or 5K somewhere, and then so that would be synthetic, and then finish for the synthetic. Let's go to the natural, and would be the first would be a softie, quite a coarse one. I mean, not super coarse, but some 6K one, maybe Shirosuta from Maruyama. Well, I'm happy the video was helpful. I'm learning myself, so I'm glad to share my last little answer on the bevel shape. So really, I'm happy. Yeah. You're welcome, and I think one of the best thing you can do is look at the light on your blade and try to think twice before grinding. Try to see where are the high spots and where are the low spots. When it's touching, it's high spot. When it's not touching, it's low spot. And means if you want to reach the low, don't push on it because you will get it even lower. Push on the high spots and reach slowly the lower. It's that way you can make something even. And when you will reach a finer, harder stone, the blade will touch the stone nicely, and if you don't do the work, it will be not a good finish. You will have to use a very soft one and use a lot of mud to get it something alright. If you have any more questions about thinning and stone shape, I'm here for about more 5 minutes and then I will go. So last questions, if you have some. That stone is a diamond stone, and it's from Practical Sharpening, but it's a vitrified diamond plate. It's like Atoma, but it's not. The diamond is not put on it; it's in it. It's in a bonding. So it's diamond 400 vitrified. It's quite expensive stone. It's quite special stone. Oh, Bonham Forum, about your problem, I would solve it, I think, with silicon carbide powder. So if your stone is 100 and you like to work with it, put some silicon carbide powder, like maybe 60 grit, maybe even lower, 40 grit, I don't know, 60 grit maybe, and put them in on a flat stone, or flat stone like that, or a big piece of glass, and put a little bit of water, and then you flatten the stone on the silicon powder. That would be my solution for that, because if you use diamond, you will kill the diamonds. It's expensive. It's not really the way, I think. Naniwa are selling for quite a long time diamond resin stone, and they are good, so you can try that. And stick powder is like super budget. There is no cost of it. I mean, €5 for 2 kilos or something like that. And this side is actually not as good as the other. Quite a lot of little uh, little low spots around here. Yeah, this is overgrind. I'm gonna work on it. So as you can see, I'm switching longitudinal, perpendicular, and switching like that. I can really work efficiently and check everything I'm doing. If you're working only on one direction, at the end you will see nothing. You need to cross, and crossing will show you everything. At the beginning, it will be hard, but then, when with habit, you really work faster this way. And thanks Nader for showing me that technique. Okay, start to be better. Yeah, for thinning, pressure is the same on both strokes. Yeah, because you're flat on your stone and you can really push evenly, but it depends also of what you're doing. If you push, right, and your fingers are on the shinogi, you're gonna push up the shinogi, and if you put pressure with your shinogi, with a finger on the shinogi, and you push down, actually you won't grind too much the shinogi. You're gonna grind before that. So actually, yeah, you can deal your pressure depending of what you're doing, and if you want to push the pressure, the shinogi, push a little bit more. when you go up there pushing on the shinogi. Depends on what you want to do. If you want to push the shinogi or just flatten the bevel. Okay, still got some little low spot. Okay. Hello. As you can see, still a little bit more of a grind close to shinogi. So yeah, I need to flatten the bevel and grind the material which is in the middle of the bevel, so it's getting lower, and then I can reach my shinogi. If I can finish the video on a clean note, I would appreciate that. Okay. And you need to let the stone work sometimes. I just mean, if you want to be too much in a hurry and too much going to reach one spot, you will overgrind. So you need to let the stone work at some point a little bit. I'm getting closer. Okay. Look good, looks good. We'll see. Perpendicular is really a way to grind, and if you want to do some modification on your shape, perpendicular will be powerful enough to grind the material. Longitudinal will not grind really much, actually. It will grind, it will more like even everything, but not really grinding. So doing longitudinal strokes is really more about checking. You check your bevel with the longitudinal and you really grind with your perpendicular. I still got a low spot. Yeah, that bevel on that side is a little bit larger, and actually I may have to grind that a little bit more to make it more symmetric. But yeah, it's bigger bevel, so it's a little bit harder to play. But I will get it. Yeah, it's very close. It depends, because mirror finish can be achieved at different grit, and you can get a mirror finish with I don't know, 600 or 800 grit, because the abrasive you use is giving some reflection on the metal. If you mean mirror finish, meaning scratchless mirror, meaning about 8K, starting at 8K, we gonna ask another question, which is, what is sharp? For me, sharp is like really getting an apex, meaning two surfaces meeting on one precise point. You don't need mirror to get that thing, to get that apex. Mirror will give a more refined surface, so the feeling of the sharpness will be smoother. But I think you can really get something very sharp even if it's not mirror. I'm not using mirror a lot of time myself. Okay, and I got something quite nice on my bevel, so I should be good. Yeah, if you want to sharpen a knife, be precise on your angles, really precise, and make them meet very well and very cleanly without any burr, and clean the burr. But if you get very precise angles, thin, precise, and no burr meeting with a 1K, you will see it's very sharp. It's sharp in a certain way because it's quite coarse. Well, depends of people, of course, but it's let's say in the middle, not super refined and quite a bit refined, but not coarse. Let's say 1K. But if you do the same thing and reach 6K or 8K, you will have same sharpness. I mean, same, yeah, kind of sharpness, but more refined, feeling smoother. Yeah, exactly. When you're sharpening some very bad stainless steel, there is not really so much pleasure to go high in grit. Yeah, just get a 800 or 1K and you will be good. You will have some nice results. Good enough. So now I'm doing some little bit of convexity, working on the edge part, longer strokes. Okay, and my bevel shape is alright, so I'm gonna go with the next tones. But actually I'm gonna go on the next knife. So this is what I got. Is it 100% perfect? No, but the geometry is very hard, so it's okay. I got something. I need to find a way for this. Okay, guys, have a good day, and yeah, if you have any more question, see you at the next live, or you can drop me a message. Goodbye.